Yeah.
Right, biggest overachiever.
Wait, we've missed. We're going in such a weird order here.
Yeah.
Why did we go newcomer?
Just go Ron Burgundy,
It's
man.
how I've got it on my iPad.
Read up
You
the
did
thing.
just take us.
Right, biggest overachiever of the season.
I've gone Nottingham Forest,
Yep.
Crystal Palace, and Jacob Murphy.
I've got Forest, Tottenham, and Jacob Murphy.
I've got the same three.
Tottenham,
Oh,
overachieving.
Yeah, they've won a big European trophy for qualifying for the Champions League.
Forest overachieved, then Jacob
Where
Murphy
did we all predict Spurs to finish?
I think I had them
I'd
Champions League.
third.
I'd
Third.
seven.
Yeah, I'm not putting Spurs in that.
Third.
I'd seventh.
So you predicted them to get Champions League, and do you think they would have? You think at the start of the season they could have had a good European Cup run in the Europa
I
League?
said they'd win the Europa League, but
So that's not overachieving then.
It is for
That's
their
hitting their
club.
targets.
See, this
He
is,
predicted
this
an
is,
overachieving
This is where
season.
you can't like differentiate between
you think that the more-
my predictions and the club's
But do you
expectations.
think they've overachieved more than Crystal Palace?
Yeah.
Jacob Murphy.
Why is this? The
mate,
Tottenham hates. You just
Nottingham
need to
Forest.
accept that they've had a good season.
No.
You can't fight Tottenham on all.
No, I mean maybe. My three are Forest, Spurs, and Jacob Murphy. So
I think that's fair.
No, Crystal
I do,
Palace.
so-
Crystal Palace got to be in there.
Crystal Palace finished 12th.
Are they in yours?
We won the FA Cup, mate.
All right, yeah, it's great, brilliant.
That is great. I know. They've overachieved to fuck. like
Yeah, but a lot of teams have
I
overachieved.
don't think it's that. I don't think it's that like crazy that a mid-table Premier
what's
League.
crazy? What's
Their league
crazier?
position lets them
Spurs
down.
winning the Europa League this season,
Yeah, the
or Palace winning the FA Cup?
Yeah, I think the fourth
think
worst team. I
Spurs.
think the fourth worst team in the league winning the. No.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I think the fourth worst team in the league winning the Europa League's a really big
Talking about the start of the
overachievement.
season, though, but overachieving.
No, we're not. We're talking about it now.
This
We're
is
talking
at the end
about
of the
it
season.
now.
That literally
Worst
is,
team of the
again, you're bringing up things that's irrelevant.
Why is it
End of the
irrelevant?
season.
Why is
We're
it
talking about the
irrelevant?
start of the season. At start of the
No, we're not.
season. Yeah, we are.
We're talking about right now.
You look,
who's
no,
looking
who's
back. Who's the
overachieved? Yeah,
biggest
you have to look back
overachiever?
at the start of the season where they are and who's overachieved. Like that's why we
fourth-
got
the fourth
Nottingham
worst-
Forest in the fucking
No, but
thing.
they're
That's
the
got
fourth-
Jacob
yeah,
Murphy
the
in there.
worst
But they're the
team
fourth
in
worst
season.
team in the league, so for them to win the Europa League's crazy.
Yeah, but at the start of the season they weren't, Tom. We look at the start and how they're
Yeah.
achieving now. You're bringing up stupid, irrelevant fucking facts.
Facts.
Oh,
there you
it's
go.
facts.
Facts. There you go.
Facts
Facts can't be irrelevant,
you're
mate.
being fucking
Mine
pedantic.
is slightly different based on where I thought they were going to finish. Obviously, I've got Brentford because I thought they were going to go down. Nottingham Forest. And I've only said this because we didn't really know that much about him at the start of the year and how he's come off the back of the year. Morgan Rogers.
By the way,
Hang on, Brentford haven't overachieved.
In my mind, they had because the same argument you just said. I said they were going down.
Yeah, he's got a point.
At the start of the season, I put them in 18th, mate. They're 10th.
I can't believe the fourth worst
Yeah, but
team
you were
in
the
the
only
league are in the
person on
Champions League.
earth who thought that.
Yeah, but and he put Bournemouth in 18th. There's people that thought that random teams were going to go down.
See, the thing with this is the thing with the predictions. It's not me us saying they should be there.
Yeah.
When you do the table predictions, I predicted Bournemouth to have a howler. I'm not
Yeah,
saying that's
yeah.
the expectation. I was predicting a howler.
Yeah, agree.
He was predicting Tottenham to exceed their expectations this year. So it doesn't mean that's where they should be. It's where we thought they could get.
Theo
He can't.
struggles to compute.
Why is he
like,
there?
more
As
than
if he's like the master of ball knowledge, and anyone who doesn't agree with him is like, oh, these idiots.
It's common sense, really.
Is it?
It's not though. You I don't know why you struggle to understand different concepts or different ideas of what we consider overachieving.
But do you think Brentford have overachieved this season?
No, but he does. But
that's not-
Can't you compute
like-
that?
Yeah, I
don't
compute. He has an
understand it.
opinion. Yeah, but that's just not right.
What?
Who's to say he's right or wrong?
No, objectively, I don't think anyone put Brentford 10th. I feel
But
like
you're like,
that's
so,
slightly...
according to you, then, if that's his opinion, yeah, you predicted Spurs to finish third.
Yeah, and it's a stinker
Yeah, but they finished 17th, so they've underachieved, then, haven't they?
They can be
in the
both.
league. Yeah,
Yeah, do you see what I mean? Like,
in the league, but
overall.
the
So, why is one for him and neither? Like, it doesn't make sense. You guys aren't making any sense.
what are you on about? I don't
What's
understand
your
what your
problem?
point is here.
By the way, I put Tottenham 7th.
By the way, I predicted
okay.
Spurs to
So,
qualify.
so I predicted them not to get Champions League, and they got Champions League and a trophy. They overachieved.
I predicted Spurs to qualify for the Champions League and win the Europa League.
So how have they
did both.
overachieved? Yeah,
They
so how,
did both.
so how have they overachieved then? There you go.
No,
then in
no,
your
no, no,
opinion.
no.
And in his opinion, you're,
Oh
you're,
my God,
you're flip-flopping.
Oh
You're
my
fucking
God!
flip-flopping, mate.
No!
You are.
I'm not doing it based on my opinion. I'm doing it based on the club's expectations. That for how Tottenham would have expected the season to go, they've exceeded
Yeah,
expectations.
so why is it different with Brentford
Because
then?
he's doing it based on his
Yeah, I
opinion.
did it off mine.
Jesus,
I
it's
think-
not that hard. It's not that hard.
That's the same reason I put Morgan Rogers in. Didn't know much about him at the start of the year, and now look at him. He's like one of the best players in the Prem.
So like Forest have exceeded both the club's expectations and my
ours.
expectations.
Yeah.
Murphy has got this fucking PR, so I can't believe he's this good this season. So but Spurs, he's based on the clubs. It's okay, maybe it's not consistent, so I'll give you that. But I don't care. To be fair, I don't care.
Right, who hasn't said theirs?
Theo.
Theo.
Here we go.
I have said mine already. I said it first.
What did you say?
Well,
I said Forest Murphy Palace.
I'm going to put forward. Sting. I'm going to put.
Literally,
But hang on, where did you have Palace in your season predictions?
I didn't expect them to win the FA Cup.
Yeah.
No, but
Fair
that's
enough.
not what.
That's fair shout.
I'm going to put forward Jacob Murphy.
I'll go
Correct.
Forest because the other two are a bit rogue.
I'm going Crystal Palace.
I'll go Spurs.
Fuck it.
Yeah, people, vote for Spurs.
Please vote for Spurs.
The thing is, though,
Clean sweep.
when people see us on Twitter, everyone's going to think he put Spurs because it's that fucking stupid.
No, Jacob. I think they'll imagine I put Jacob Murphy.
Mate, you don't
Angry piggy in the corner.
You don't have to get angry. It's just a show.
Do you
No,
want
it's
to start the
frustrating.
No, 'cause
podcast?
it's
with the angry
frustrating.
one?
It's frustrating. I have to
We
share
started
a room.
the pod and you
It's
said
frustrating. I have to
everyone-
share a room with you three fucking dimwits.
I didn't put Spurs in
We're
the
so
fucking-
blessed to be in the presence of Theo Baker.
I think he's expecting the
There's
comments.
a lack of brain cells
When
over
the
here
comments
right
come in,
now.
they're all
Honestly,
not
Theo, you're
backing.
going to
They
get
will.
cooked.
They
You-
bloody will.
I think
They
you're
bloody
going
will.
to get cooked, but you're going to get cooked.
I'm getting
For yet
cooked.
again, not
I'm gonna get-
understanding
I'm gonna say,
simple
I'm
points.
going to get cooked because I don't think Spurs have overachieved.
No,
But
that's
yes!
no,
That's why.
no,
Yeah, no, yes.
You will. No, that
Yes.
isn't why. It's
No,
you.
it is,
It's you
battling.
failing to understand simple points.
Mate, you
Like,
compared the Premier League to a fucking Iron Man. I'm not hearing it.
No, he
it
did
was a
actually.
very simple point.
I added to his
It
point.
was
It's
a
a very
simple-
simple analogy.
Doesn't make sense.
That's one of the reasons you're going to get cooked because you can't understand a simple analogy.
Because we care about the journey, not the destination.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair
that's
enough.
why you haven't won anything. That's why you've won nothing.
Why
You're
you
too
bringing
busy
up-
on,
why
you're
you
too
bringing
busy
up-
on about the journey.
It's
They just
irrelevant.
win stuff. It is relevant, actually. That's
Why are you bringing up Arsenal right
you
now?
enjoy your little journey.
Talking about
They're off
myself.
winning
I'm talking about
trophies.
myself.
We're building. It's a project.
It's a project. It's a project.
Does
It's a pretty
Arsenal live
shit
that
one.
rent free in your head? You have to bring them up every 5
Oh.
minutes.
That is true.
It's true. It is.
Yeah, it's true.
It is.
Yeah, more a trophy.
Tell you
We
what,
weren't
Yeah,
even-
baby.
We weren't even talking about them. We bring them up constantly.
War a trophy. War a trophy.
Right,
Yeah.
let's.
What a trophy for the dog win. Who wins fucking nothing.
Conversely, the biggest underachiever / flop. Who wants to take the bullet?
I'll go on
Spurs?
this.
Yeah.
I've only got two because there's only two deserving.
Yeah.
Manchester United and Rasmus Højlund.
Oh, I actually had both, but I encompassed them into one.
Højlund stinks, man.
Yeah.
He's so bad at football, isn't he? I thought he was going to be so good as well. I seen a compilation of him at fucking Atalanta, and I was like, Jesus
You
Christ.
remember the first game we watched with Man United? We're all like, yeah, he looks good. He looks like he looks
Yeah.
Remember
aggressive.
Nkunku in pre-season?
He was cooking as well.
Banging in goals. What happened to him?
Yeah, he's
He's
leaving
just
now.
a bit shit, I think.
Too many balloons in his socks.
What?
He has a balloon in his sock, doesn't he?
Does he?
Every
Oh,
game.
yeah,
you know,
throws it,
that's what the
balloon.
funniest thing is. Like every time Nkunku
doesn't
doesn't
score.
score,
Yeah.
he's got to take the balloon out.
There's
his
a
sock.
Chelsea fan on. He's
balloon.
like, what pisses me off more about this game is that prick has got a balloon in his sock
A
up
socky
front.
balloon. Well, he's sweating, isn't he? He's got
Wait,
a
mate,
colour thing. Wet leg.
And wet-
I also.
He's got a tear streaming down his leg.
I
You know what from.
come.
Right. Okay. And come.
I'll do another biggest underachiever. I'll go with, if I need three, I'll go with
Foden.
Man City.
Amarim as well. Fucking put him in.
Yeah, he could have gone with the whole United team, really.
Yeah.
Move.
Man United, Højlund, and for his price tag, Dominic Solanke.
Oh.
Oh, I think it's harsh.
that's really harsh.
He's been injured quite a bit as well.
So he's got 9 goals. He's 65 mil. That's all I'm.
Oh, I know, but he's been injured a bit. And Spurs have been absolute dog shit.
Just from expectations alone.
I
We
understand
thought,
your
we
point.
thought
Did
he was
help
going to
them
be
qualify for the Champions League. And we're
you
gonna go-
keep-
I understand
cheap.
your
That
point.
is shameless.
I understand your point. I just think there's bigger or underachievers.
Yeah, I was
He's got
gonna put-
16 goals.
That's not
no,
bad.
9 in the Prem, though, is what I'm saying.
9 in
horrendous.
27.
Come on.
He's not bad.
It's
mean-
obviously you expected more. I understand what you mean, but we expected more from most of them
when
in the
when he
league.
got bought by Spurs, we all put him as like he's going to be.
I
Absolutely
would
insane.
argue that Man City have underachieved more than Dominic Solanke this season.
Look, he's got 9 goal contributions
Mate,
in the
for what
Europa
he was-
League.
For what I expected him to
13
kick on and
games.
get like 20 plus
That's
goals.
a goal or
all.
assist every other game. That's not bad. And he's nine goals and
but
assists
that's
in 13 in the Europa,
but I'm
which helped
basing
them
it-
get Champions
But I'm
League.
basing it off my preseason expectations, the same way I put Brentford in my overachievers.
True.
I thought
Yeah,
Solanke was
no,
going to
I
get 20
mean,
plus goals. That's all.
Fair.
Right.
He was 60.
He's missed a lot though, hasn't he?
I think that's really harsh.
I think you're being a bit hard.
You're being harsh.
Well, I could've-
You're being very harsh,
I
Simon. Very harsh.
could have picked
there-
more individual Man United players, but I thought
I'm
that's
starting to
just
think
a
you
bit
have an
too
agenda
overkill.
against Tottenham.
Yeah.
It's not true.
I've got Højlund. Full Krug, you useless piece
Oh,
of shit.
great shout.
Yeah,
Fuck me.
Oh, I'm saving
Nah, great
him.
end of the season though.
Oh, he was so shit.
Great shout.
and this isn't for bait or whatever, but Arsenal, because in a season where Man City fell off, you again haven't won a trophy, and you
That's
weren't
actually a
the one
very
in the
fair
title
shout.
race. So I think that is against your high standards. It's underachieved.
You have dropped you've dropped like 20 odd points in the league.
Hang on, you did.
You'd always think
Sorry.
if Man City were to drop off, it's
If you
Arsenal
maintained
have
your
to be-
standards this year, you would have won the
I
league.
get the points, right? But how are Manchester United not one of your three?
Because
Wait, Man United aren't one of your three?
Because I can
hasn't
tell,
put
I can
United
tell,
at
I'll
all.
tell you right now.
Are you serious?
I'll tell you right now.
He did have them like
I can
12.
tell. I rate Arsenal. I don't
Yeah,
rate
but,
Man United.
but look,
I think
Sorry.
it's more,
This is
more
what-
crazy. You didn't put pressure more
No,
to get
but
closer
can I-
and win a trophy.
can I say-
than Man United.
This is not
This
true.
is my
It
issue. This is my issue with how you guys are doing it, right?
Oh, here we go.
Lewis is.
Why not just do the list you want me to do?
No, listen to me. Like, you put Man United. Where did you put them, sorry, in your predictions?
What?
Where do you put them in your predictions? What's your
can't
basic
remember.
answer?
He had them
Okay,
low.
but if
He
you
had
actually
them
just
low.
look at the season,
I
like
think you did,
with
'cause you had them
like
lowest,
an
and you said
objective
that you
look,
did.
Oh,
Man
yeah, I did
United
actually.
So he had
have
them like
underachieved more than Arsenal.
He had them
Okay.
about 6th, just bearing in mind.
So we're there. Can we, Theo? Can we think? Do you not think it's more mental that for like the 4th season in a row, Arsenal have not won anything, have finished in 2nd, and when Man City, the mighty treble winners, mighty quadruple, finally drop off, bottle it, and
No,
don't win anything
Luke.
again?
I'm not arguing that you
It's
put
underachieved.
Lewis, I'm not
out of the-
arguing that you put Arsenal in
You
there.
have underachieved
I'm
more
arguing
than Man United.
United should
I would, of course you have. Man United is shit. Everyone knows this shit.
Why did you put them 6th before the start of the season then?
That's Europe.
Exactly, you're a fucking liar.
By the way,
You are a liar.
By the way, we've already established that prediction means nothing.
No, it does mean something, 'cause obviously it's from the- it's from the start.
How can that mean nothing? But then this
yeah.
whole thing, it does mean something. You're flip-flopping again.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I predicted Man United to do better than their means this year. I think them finishing
By
15th,
9 places.
Man United finishing 15th and getting to a final, something you haven't done in a long time, is not
how
as much underachieving as what yous have.
How
It
can you
is,
sit
mate.
there and
Isn't
say that?
Yous need to realise.
you
Yous need
honestly
to realise that Arsenal have bigger standards than Man United. I know it's hard to believe, but you should
You
be
haven't,
winning
even, you haven't
trophies.
even included him in your 3, though. That's
It's
the
actually
issue I have.
crazy to me as fans. You two don't agree because you've been pathetic. You've been
Okay,
pathetic
right.
for 4 years. When are you going to win
Lewis,
something? When are
we
you going to cash
agree
in on this project?
Look, you're not listening to us. We agree Arsenal have underachieved this
Yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah.
But to
Massively.
say they've underachieved more than Manchester United
Oh,
is
don't say it like that.
bonkers.
You used to say like that about Man City. Now it's Manchester United.
They finished 15th. They're not in any European football.
They
They're
got
fucked.
to a final.
They're fucked.
They got to a final.
What a trophy.
Ball kettle black. Fucking hell.
You know the same points you're raising about, it's Manchester United, that's all shit. They've nabbed your main transfer target, mate.
That's fine.
But it's not fine. 'cause you're
Okay,
crying
so
about
they're
it before the show.
overachieving.
No, that's
What-
not
how's that
overachieving. That's
relevant?
not
I
overachieving.
don't
They're
think Man United are
no, they're the
overachieving
biggest.
now.
They're the biggest
decided
club.
in Mbeumo.
No. The point is I'm making.
What?
They're the biggest club in England.
What?
And your expectations are them now to finish 15th and not win it.
My expectation of them isn't to finish 15th. No.
So they've
What, you put words in
underachieved.
my-
So they've underachieved massively.
Man United have underachieved. Yes, I'm not.
So-
but
but
I'm
why-
saying you've
why-
underachieved more. How's that
That's
hard
not
to
true.
understand?
That's just not true.
It is. How did you do in the League Cup? You got knocked out. How did you do in the FA Cup? What round was that? You got knocked out by? And who knocked you out, actually? Fucking Man United.
Completely ignoring the semi-final of the Champions League.
You got knocked out of the FA
He's
Cup
only picking
by
the ones
Man
we got
United.
knocked.
Yeah, you got knocked out of the Champions League.
Yeah,
as
I know,
well,
but-
Theo.
You got knocked out of that as well.
Yeah, but how many trophies did Arsenal Man United win this year?
Who came closer?
Well, Man United got to a final,
Thank
yeah.
you.
But what does that mean? What, he came close to
What
trophy?
do you mean? What's that mean? It means they got closer to
Well, if
winning
he's
a trophy.
rated
That's
who's
not-
underachieved more.
Well, that's-
What, so
No,
we're
no,
ignoring
no,
15th in the league then?
No, he's not.
No, they've underachieved.
Lou,
Who's in the Champions League now?
How can you understand your standards and not Man United standards?
By your own standards, just to dissect your point, by your own standards, you shouldn't be putting Spurs in biggest overachiever then if it's just off one game.
No, I should, because that game determines everything.
Yeah, so therefore Manchester United should be in the biggest underachievers because they've done niche off the rest of the season.
Completely disagree, right?
No, it's not.
Can I just spell it? Can I spell it
you
out?
can't,
Can I please
you can't
spell it
have
out?
your cake and
Because
eat
it's
it.
really
You can't
hard
have
to
your cake
understand
and eat it, mate.
Okay, Arsenal, their standards are the same as Man City's and Liverpool's, okay? You need to win a league.
Actually, more than
get
Liverpool's
trophy.
at the start of the
Yes.
season.
Yeah, I agree.
That is your standard. So stop comparing yourself to Man United and saying, who's got Champions League, who's got that? Man United haven't had Champions League in however long,
Yeah.
and everyone knows the shit. Everyone knows that, and they went through a massive manager change.
I
Do you know-
I
I
think-
think
I think-
Arsenal have underachieved.
Your
What do you mean
standards
Yeah.
are
Champions League
different.
That's why
Isn't it
he's not
2
hearing
years
it.
ago?
So
No,
why
he
is Man
is.
City
Isn't it
not in
2
your
years
three
ago?
then?
No, wait.
Because
So-
they've. What do you mean?
Why Man
finished
City not in
third.
your three then?
They finished third and lost.
But isn't-
Look, hang on,
yeah, no trophies again,
hang
then.
on.
What do you mean?
No, I can.
in the Champions League 2 years ago.
I think Man United have underachieved more than Arsenal.
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
I
but that's what we
understand
agree.
his point.
Yeah, but
I
you
don't-
he's
said
doing it for
Man
rattles,
City
though.
finished
I don't think he is. I honestly don't
But
think he
why
is.
Man City not
this
in
is so
it?
annoying. Like, I have an opinion that you should be winning trophies. trophies
but Lewis-
after your 5th fucking season
No,
on the
I
project.
agree with you,
And
but
every
to
time
say
you
Man
don't,
United-
it's a bigger underachievement
Luke,
the
we
season
agree
after.
with you, but you're saying they've underachieved more than Man United. But what about Man City? You're just ignoring Man City then.
Man
Yes,
City
because they've
finished
been winning
third.
stuff for seasons
Arsenal finished
and
second.
seasons and seasons.
Yeah,
Right,
but-
Both at the start of the season would be winning a trophy
right,
win the Premier
Theo,
League.
this is kind of...
Yeah, no,
Therefore,
yeah,
Arsenal
City
got,
should
yeah,
be
but it's
lower
above
than
them
that.
then. Do you see what I mean? So
No,
Yeah.
but again, City have got to a final, which is his point. Arsenal haven't got close.
And Theo,
you
can
got
I-
to the semi.
semi-final, that's pretty close.
Can I explain that City...
Like,
can I explain
it's
this?
one game away.
Exactly, but
It's
it's not.
a big
It's not
deal.
closer, is it?
Can I explain the City
But
Arsenal?
Arsenal still finish above
And
them.
City didn't have their best player all season. Their Ballon d'Or
Theo,
winner,
for
like-
every
Start of
season...
season, they would have said
Theo,
win the
Theo,
league.
Theo, Theo. For every
Of
season,
course, yeah.
for every season you don't win something, the expectation of the next gets higher. Every
I agree.
season,
I
doing
agree.
that. Man City have been winning stuff forever. So the one fall off season, it's
can
like
let them off one season, can't you?
Every
Like, and
single
they still
season,
finish third.
every single season, this
But I
project,
agree.
you have had one more season to build this
Lou, do you
project.
not-
I agree.
You
You
should
haven't
be
got Man
winning
United in
some-
your
Lou,
three
do you not
nominees.
think
I don't give a
objectively?
fuck.
Do you not think
I
objectively?
don't
Man
actually
United
give a fuck. Yous have unachieved and you're getting nominated and you'll
Look,
probably
we
win.
agree. We fucking agree.
So why are you shouting at me? What do you
Because
mean?
you haven't got Man United in your top 3.
Fuck him. I expected this shit.
Yeah, I think you need. I completely see his point. I don't agree, but I completely see
And
his
also,
point.
you hold me accountable to a pre-season prediction when they ended up sacking the manager and
Yeah.
get rid of the director of football within like 8 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
Obviously, so like that isn't the gospel. Things happen. You've had the same manager, the same
No, but
players, transfer windows,
No.
money
Okay,
spent.
so if you're doing that, as in like it's a dynamic.
City bought a £70 million
this is what I
fucking
mean.
strike
if you're
in
doing it as
January.
a dynamic change in the,
City have underachieved, yeah.
predictions. Yeah, City should be above Arsenal in that case.
no, because as I say, City, you can let them off more because they've been winning.
You look,
winning.
yeah, you
No,
look,
no, I'm
you two looking at it too black and white.
It's so
There
stupid.
are outside factors that help you come to, like, I understand black and white, right? City have probably had a worse season than Arsenal, but again, take things into account. They've lost Rodri. They have had a drop off in general. They're going through a cycle, aren't they? They're like older players.
I
They're
agree.
They're
I'm
going
just
through
saying they're at the end-
Arsenal. So City, when they won their treble, were at the peak, and now they're coming like down the mountain
Yeah,
a bit
yeah,
and trying to
down
go.
to that,
You're meant to be like this
When you're winning.
trying to now it's time to win, and you still have found a way to, by the way, not come close. You got battered in the
Didn't come
League Cup.
close at all.
Like, let's be honest, you actually got battered. You got knocked out in the third round of the FA Cup to Man United, and again in the Champions League, you didn't come close. PSG are the best team in Europe, but they battered you. Over 2 legs, it was easy. It was pretty comfortable for them, in my opinion. So, and again, in the league, you've had like a 15-point drop-off in the league.
Tom,
How's your
I'm not sat here saying
So
I disagree.
that's my point about-
I
that's
agree
what
with
you're
you.
arguing
So
why
he's-
I agree with you.
his
He's not
standards-
got Man United in the nominees.
Because his standards for Arsenal are way higher. So I understand it. I agree. I think Man United have underachieved more. That's right, yeah?
Yeah.
But I completely understand his point of view. I think you're trying to look at it too black and white.
You just need to, like, you've been so overly defensive over anything Arsenal and Tottenham here. You need
No,
to accept
I
you've
agree with
underachieved.
you.
Well, you stop shouting then and just say, okay,
You're
we can
shouting.
Right, let's put them forward. Let's put one forward each.
Arsenal.
Do you want to go Højlund or Man
I'll
United?
go Højlund
I'll
because
go Man
he
United then.
stinks.
Spurs.
You are joking.
No?
It's embarrassing. He doesn't even believe it.
We didn't even talk about that.
Fair
That's
enough.
funny.